Motion to approve our regular board meeting minutes from February 23rd and our study session from March 9th. All in favor?
Aye.
Presentation and reports. Mr. Howell, you're up first.
My only update this evening is, again, our study session 2 weeks from now. That will be our State of the District address. Quite frankly, we're really looking forward to giving that. Not that the others haven't been comprehensive, but this will certainly be. And one of the things that I'll be highlighting in my portion of that is, again, some of the things that we have talked about in exec session that will become public around the organizational chart, and I think some need for some other positions moving forward in 26, 27. So more to come, but we're eager and getting ready to prepare, finalize the preparation for that. And sharing that with all of you again at our study session.
Thank you. Mr. Taylor?
So I really only have one this evening too. I'll echo though that I'm looking forward to that presentation also, as I do believe we're gonna have a lot of great information to share with the board. Believe it or not, it is almost time for the PSSA. So my one real piece of information is, I'm not sure if Mr. Hofacker was gonna highlight this or not, but we will be giving our PSSA testing here in about almost exactly a month. We'll be testing our ELA students April 21st, 22nd, and 23rd in the morning at both levels, elementary and middle. Math will be April 28th and 29th in the morning, and then science, which is now just the middle school, will be 30th of April in the morning and in the afternoon. So believe it or not, it will be here soon. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Wilt, do you have anything?
I just to let you all know I've been working on building the budget to get ready for meetings next month. Also working on the 24 audit. We've been reconciling balance sheet accounts, making some journal entries, getting things ready for SEK when they have time to look at it.
Perfect. Thank you. Zep?
I don't have anything this evening.
And Mr. Hofacker, you're up tonight.
All right, I'll start with the high school. Well, for all of us, the third working period ends on Friday. So parents, make sure your students get their work finished here in this next week. So we can get the best out of our students. In the high school, they just began the scheduling process for next year. The guidance department actually held a meeting with the 8th graders this past week to help them get learn everything they need to do to be able to do their scheduling. And there will be an event for parents on Thursday night during parent-teacher conferences. For the middle school, I have a team of teachers who went to a TDA training, which is the written responses in the ELA portion. They went to a day last month, and then they have a day tomorrow, just solidifying that process so that all our teachers who are in those subjects kind of do the same thing so that they're ready for the types of responses that they'll have to write for the PSSAs. And then on the math side, I had another team go to a constructed response training. Again, that's the written portion. Just making sure common language from grade to grade, making sure that our students are prepared, just give them every opportunity that they can. The great thing with that, we can't always send every teacher to all these different types of trainings, and then just having them come back and share what they have with the rest of the math department. I have a lot of young teachers, new teachers in the middle school, and giving those chances to take on those roles and kind of help lead in the building has been really nice. Elementary school this past week on the 19th, they had their spring concert, which went very well for the 4th graders. And on St. Patrick's Day, they tried to catch the mischievous leprechauns with their leprechaun traps. I remember I know if you probably ask anyone in this building in the high school, they probably remember back when they were in elementary school and tried to build their leprechaun trap. So that was one of their big things last week.
Thank you. I have no public comment. So on to the consent agenda. We have letters A through B. Does anyone have any questions on A through B? I have one question. On letter E for the assistant, co-assistant softball coach, is there a specific number that they have to get to actually have a full second coach? Like 3 coaches, I guess, is what they're going there.
So, the 3 coaches, I can't answer that because this is new. So the assistant that we had hired isn't able to make, there are schedule conflicts. And they've agreed to split that assistant coach in 2 parts. That makes sense. That's what this is.
Okay.
And there's consent from both parties to do so.
I believe that there are 3 paid coaches, a head coach and 2 assistant coaches. Should be, well,
Not for
that's what,
softball. There is a head coach and an assistant coach for softball, I think because of the numbers that are here.
oh, okay.
So that's why I was asking.
Yeah, there would be
Like,
3, only because again, we need an assistant coach that was, there are schedule conflicts and we can't get to, I think, but only, I'll say half of the competitions. So that's where, again, both parties have agreed to split that 26-25.
That was new to me. That's why I was asking. Any other questions? A through B? And I need a motion. Make a motion. And a second to approve A through B.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Bonner,
Yes.
Mr. Fisher, Mrs. Fisher, Mrs. Holt,
Yes.
Mrs. Kirschner,
Yes.
Mrs. Minor,
Yes.
Mr. Sayers,
Yes.
Mr. Lillard,
Yes,
and Mrs. Ferguson, no.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Any other action items tonight? Any updates, Jen?
We continue to look at real estate sites, which I cannot talk about, but we continue to look. And that process is moving along, so hopefully sooner than later we'll have some news there. This is with ACTI, by the way. We have, I mentioned before, hired a new director. He will be serving as basically co-director between now, like April 1st, 2nd, something like that, and June, when Mr. Eckenrode retires. So he'll be getting some hands-on experience before moving into that role full-time. I think that's pretty much it.
Did you have anything?
Nothing to report.
Perfect. Alright, so then I have, what does it say on balance?
I don't know if Dan has it. Do you have the LIU ballots in front of you? We'll get those, Stephen.
Okay. I would just go tonight, so we'll get those. Then I have no more public comment. Our next meeting is April 13th in the building at 6. We held an executive session March 9th, 20th, and 23rd for legal and personnel matters. The district received a $500 donation from Mr. and Mrs. Crum to be used in the music department. The district also received a $2,500 donation from Fairfield Football for the athletic field use. The district also received a $1,000 donation from Ann Bauer for elementary negative lunch balances, and $750 donation from Alan and Holly Smith, for the music department. So we thank everyone for those donations to help make our school go around. And then I need,
Candace, I have a quick question.
yes,
Every other one says where the money's going. Where are we putting the donation from the youth football?
It would be for athletic field use, so Scott, we're.
There's an account that's set up just for donations, so that's where.
So general fund.
General fund as in everything or athletics? That $2,500 should go to the athletic department, not everything else. Right? Am I correct in my thinking there?
The expenses for the field, like the electricity and ground maintenance, are paid out of the maintenance budget in the general fund. The donation simply got posted to the appropriate revenue account in the general fund.
so moving forward,
I guess I would like to see it go, if they're giving it to us for the field use, I'd like it to make sure it goes
To that
to
field.
that specific, whether that's buying a new tractor or the aerating of the field and those kinds of things, just specifying it a little clearer, like we do for the negative lunch balances in the music department.
Well, the donors specifically mentioned those things on their donation sheet. That's why they're listed here on the agenda. But again, the maintenance of the fields is in the maintenance budget. 2630 is grounds maintenance, 2620 is building maintenance. So any expenditures that we have for grass seed, fertilizer, soil conditioner, the lining of the fields at the beginning of the season, that's all borne by the general fund budget. And so when this donation came in, it got put into revenue function 6920, which is where donations to the district get posted. And it also is in the general fund. So they're matched, just not in the manner that I think you're describing.
So, Mr. Will, if they want that to go specifically for something, then that's not for us to decide. That's for them when they fill out their donation sheet to say, this $2,500 I'd like to be used for X or Y or Z.
Yes, I mean, some donors do that. I mean, there are some things set up in the ledger for specific purpose. We got a donation for some program called Trout in the Classroom. The Adams County Community Foundation donated some money that's been used by the musical for choreography for the past couple of years. In order for me to track that and to make sure that it's going where it's supposed to go, I actually set up individual accounts in the ledger. And then that money is, if there's an expense for that budget, it goes to that budget. What we get to the end of the year, if there's money still remaining, it rolls over to the next year. The donation for field use was just put into the general fund because all the expenses for the fields come out of the general fund. We don't have a specific budget for field maintenance.
I feel like they're donating that to make sure that obviously football, there's a lot of wear and tear on that actual field. So in my mind, when they're donating it to that, it's above and beyond what we as the district pay to fix that field. So I feel like I would want to make sure that that 2,500, however we do end up spending it to improve that field, it would need to be above and beyond our regular maintenance or regular, does that make sense? Like if I hand somebody a check for, I want you to spend this on the, I I'm out of it, right? Basketball, something, without specifying, I want the kids to get a benefit out of that, not just go out and maintain it as you normally do. I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand the field needs a lot of maintenance.
Well, I mean,
Especially
there's
those-
additional electric, if the teams, I'm not here for every game, but if they're here using the field and the lights are on, that's creating an electric bill.
Yeah.
That we pay, and we don't split the electric between, this is the youth football electric bill and this is the district electric bill. It's all just on one electric bill. So the district is paying for the electric, all the maintenance, everything that Joe Herman and his team do on the fields. It's all coming out of the general fund. So this donation that came in, it was marked for athletic field use. I put it in the general fund under donations.
Because that's where you pay from
Yeah.
to keep the field, yeah.
Yeah, it all comes out of the general fund. This just went back to the general.
I can attest to that. We send that $2,500 check for the use, our use of the field and the wear and tear. When you're talking about 4 football teams, 4 games a day on that field, that's tough on it. And that's why we give the donation for the field use.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
I have 2. Is there a way, and I know it's gonna be cumbersome, so before I even ask, I apologize whoever's lap it falls into, to get a district calendar every day, like this is what is going on in our district. Because there are so many things, and maybe I just been oblivious to it from years past, but there are so many things I feel like that are overlapping and
I think she needs some more on the website, this sheet will be on.
The district calendar itself.
I don't necessarily, well, I mean, as a parent, yes, that would be great, but I feel like there are so many things that are happening. And I know that we get out at the end of May, and I know that everybody's trying to cram everything in the last 2 months, because it's nice out and everybody wants to be outside, but it's not. But there's just a lot of overlapping with clubs having things, and then there's like a school event having something. It's just the 3v3 tournament was on the calendar for the 12th, and it got moved to the 20th. I know it's cumbersome, but I feel like that would be very beneficial, the spring concert.
Parent Square was supposed to.
So are you talking more in depth than what's already on the website?
A lot more depth.
So there, and I don't even know this, I guess maybe, well, you could answer that. Are there events that are not on this?
So I was told there's an NHS event on May 9th, which is prom also. The districts, like the games that we have, you have to go into athletics, that's not on the district calendar. I mean, if we don't have a calendar where anybody out in the community can go to it and say, oh, look, there's a soccer game tonight, or oh, look, there's a baseball game tonight. If it's home, you want your community to come to it. I feel like if we don't put it on there, they're not gonna come to it.
The sports events was a problem. We never could get that to link with Parent Square, or why was that never on Parent Square? The athletic games, because originally we were getting like a Google Doc. But that was only for one season.
Yeah, I think our plan is to ultimately marry those 2 pieces together. The athletics and the parents.
But Parent Square is like, community can't look at that, right? That's just parents.
Usually you can't do that, but
But if
that,
it was on the website,
Doesn't
just
that
like,
marry
so the
then
same
to our
calendar, the
district?
same calendar in the website is the same calendar in Parent Square. All buildings have access to put their own events on the calendar, so there's a shared calendar, we use Google for that. They put their events, and then that talks to the website, and it talks to Parent Square as well.
Does the AD have that access as well?
That's what's gonna happen.
And all club
All
Leaders?
Spanish,
The administration has access to it.
just
you
the administration,
Pardon me?
just the administration? When you say administration,
Principals,
that is not teachers.
no, teachers don't have access to the calendar to add their own events on.
But there would be
We don't
ways,
want-
there would be ways that those
Yeah,
teachers.
you can funnel it up.
Yeah.
Like advisors need to put like the class of 2029
fundraiser or the senior class trip isn't, I don't think it was on there when I looked at it the last time.
Typically, like I use the band festival or the family and consumer science, I can't see the whole thing on there. Typically what those things are, they're given to like Mrs. Keller at the high school secretary, and then she goes on and she updates those. So I guess the question really is how we just need to marry a couple things together and from a systematic standpoint and get them on there. Because it is interesting, there are some like high school 3-versus-3 basketball tournaments on there, but not the actual, softball.
Is that on the 12th or is that on the 20th?
That's on the 12th.
I was wrong, that was the 20th. So that was last Friday, not the Thursday before. And I'm just saying, because if I wanted to go to that, or if I want to be a person that's a fundraiser. So if I would say, hey, I like playing basketball, not me, I could go to that and get a team and I could enter that. I feel like that's one of the biggest.
And I don't know that
reaches
that's,
for a community.
I think that's more the people that are running the person that ran that 3-and-3 event, did they go and say, change the date of this?
Well, and that's,
Or the person that's not getting, like our athletic director should definitely be putting the sports stuff in
Yeah,
there.
the sports stuff hasn't, and I asked about that in the beginning when we first started Parent Square, and I got a Google Doc and said this is how we were doing it until we could figure out how to put it in Parent Square.
I don't know, I get a little snippet that has like all the teams on it for the week, who's.
Yeah, I think to their
You
point,
get
they want
Yeah,
anyone
I
just to
get
go
a
to the
little
website to see it, whoever it is,
That's put on
grandparents.
Facebook.
Now I get it in an email, because I get Parent Square and email.
So we just need to maybe have something sent out to people to say, if you're in charge of
An event.
whatever, then
Yeah.
you need to get administration to put it on the calendar.
Yeah, and once again, this goes back to how we marry two systems together, I don't know this, but the athletic, I mean, it's all scheduled in a system. I don't know how easy that is to marry those two together.
You said they're already married.
No, the athletic department uses a system called Arbiter,
Okay.
which they use to schedule events, referees, those types of
But
things.
Parent Square and the district calendar are married.
Yes, they're the
If we
same.
change one of those, they will
that's
be.
nice.
But that's simply printing out your schedule and sitting there and inputting
And
it into
input
the
it in
one
the
we
district.
have.
And if we have to do that, we have to do it. Sometimes the
Well, I
time.
don't say, I don't know, yeah, I don't know that aspect of it, but I feel like
It's something.
like I sat down and wrote my son's calendar out for the next couple of months and about lost my grip because there's some things that he is scheduled to do that are great opportunities for him, but then he's missing, a county track meet. Well, how do you pick with that? I mean, if it was on the calendar, we could say, well, no, wait a minute, we probably wanna, now the one thing is not avoidable, or is very unavoidable, but I feel like there's nowhere, even for the kids to say, well, wait, I got a track meet on this day, or I had this on that day, or, Anyway, that's just my thing for parents. My second thing was, can we somehow, and I don't know, maybe this has been tried before, get like anybody that uses Skyward for our grading system to kind of do it the same way? Have them like
I'm sorry, I missed what you said there, I apologize.
Skyward. A lot of teachers, I'm grateful they use it, I know they have to use it. It's a very nice tool, I find lots of stuff on it, but I feel like every single teacher does something different. Teachers will nobody in particular, teachers will let things sit on their desk and they don't get entered. The grades are affected by that. I know it was an issue with the athletics because we started pulling grades. Kids can't play if their grades aren't updated, well, if they're sitting on teachers' desks, or if they've turned something in and they have a 0 instead of it being marked as a missing assignment. That's things that I've run across. I know I've heard other conversations about that, but can we get the teachers to do it consistently? You have 3 days to put an assignment in. I don't know how to do it, but if we can brainstorm on something like that and get that.
We've been digging on this for years,
Yeah,
ever since I've been here.
so I believe we have some type of grading policies in place already, right, Mr. McCracker?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's an assignment has to be entered in X number of days after it's turned in. I mean, different subjects have different, there's a difference between a paper and 4 math problems for homework to grade.
Right.
I think the frustrating part is it's not that they don't enter it, It's that they enter the zero.
They enter zero, well, that brings your
But not the
grade
grade.
down.
If they don't want to enter for 6 weeks, that doesn't really bother me, but
Yeah.
when they enter the zero, then the grade automatically goes to a whatever, right? And then, my kid's a nerd and she watches it way too much, but she'll be like, Dad, I got a B. But it's because of this. Well, if they can enter the zero, they can enter the grade, or is that based on a time? Well, that the system does. You do see what I'm saying?
I would think a zero would be if they didn't turn it in. I don't know why else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or if
I've
they
had
turned it in and
it
got
where-
no credit. I don't.
Well, it'll say
Maybe it's a
missing.
Fisher kid problem.
Well, possibly, but mine will say missing and then it'll have a zero. Well, pick one. Is it missing? Cause I'm gonna harp on my kid, and if it's a zero, then I'm not, and he's in trouble for getting a zero. You don't get both, I guess.
I don't.
And that, I've had that issue.
Trouble with the middle school.
Yeah.
I have trouble with,
That's because the high school presents different challenges at the middle school does from a
Right.
grading standpoint. So I will tell you, having done what you're describing now, a different system, sometimes the system itself has some limited capabilities of being able to do some of the things you're describing. So, and I don't know the answer to this, because I utilize from a principal standpoint, a different system. So sometimes, that M isn't, you don't have the ability to use an M for missing. And then even you have to tell the system what that M stands for. So I can, to make a long story short, I can do some research on that. It was my understanding that we had some pretty clear expectations for the teachers to follow. If we're not following those, that's another thing we'll have to follow up on. But my understanding is we had some pretty clear expectations for that. And then we'll have to follow up on the system, what the system is able to do. But there's ways we can do that, so.
There were two, and I'm trying to think back when we had this conversation. What is the official grade? It's not in Skyward.
No, it
It
is.
is in Skyward, it's not in, what's the other?
Schoology.
Schoology. Cause there's been, you can look at your kid's grade and it'll be
Yeah, we always want.
20 points different.
We always want to use the grade that's in Skyward, because that is the official transcript, official report card, which generates the Schoology is only for those online assignments that you would be completing digitally, virtually, however you want to say that. So.
Yeah, I think if we look into that and make sure that now, there's a difference between getting a grade in on time and then getting late kids' grades in on time. That you're on your own, like, they don't have to jump through hoops to
Yeah.
get a kid's grade in that Sam's are working late.
I will tell you, the two things go together, so I just want to warn you that what will happen, I have a sneaking suspicion that sometimes our grades go on for a while is because we give students every bit of opportunity to get things in, especially probably at the middle school, knowing middle school students. When you start to tighten up these things, what will happen is you will have more failures. Because you will have, coming from a district that we did this, you have 2 days to get that assignment in. You don't have those 2 days, it becomes zero. And your failures will increase. So I'm willing to bet I do some research on this, I'm gonna find that's one of the reasons why we're doing that. So, not saying right or wrong or in between, but that's probably what's happening.
How does it work with sports when kids miss? Like, so if they miss last period, does a zero go in or do they have a set?
So if it's an absence, I think that's what you're describing, they have an absence from school for some reason, doctor's appointment, they missed that day, they have 2 days to be able to do that work.
Okay, even like sporting events, like they miss last period.
Correct,
to
that
go
would be
see-
excused, so they would have those 2 days to
Okay,
make
got
it.
it, that's what I was wondering.
And now that you brought that up, I just had one quick question. We had spring sports meeting, and we were told in that spring sports meeting, and I don't know what the previous time was, but kids had to be here by 8:55. They upped that from, it was 9:30 or something like that in the previous time. And when they said it, they said, we changed this policy. And I wanted to know, number one, like, why are their policies being changed that we don't know about? and why are changes being done? Like, if that's gonna happen, that's fine, but that should be decided in here, not changed by.
Probably went through here on double V or something. We didn't look at it.
Is it just the athletes? Because from my understanding, it was just the athletes. If you're an athlete and you're in without a doctor's note by 9:15 or whatever, you can't play, but if somebody else comes in, they can do their extra after school curricular, whatever.
So
Like-
I think some of it possibly, I don't have to do some research on this. I think the PIAA gives some guidance
Mhm.
on what percentage of your day you need to be in school to be eligible. And the difficulty in this, the reason it changes sometimes is you have periods, a traditional period day, and then you have what we run as a block. So sometimes that changes on that time. I'd have to do some research on determining what exactly why it changed.
Yeah, if it's a PIAA policy, then obviously that they change policy, we go with it, but if it's something that we change, that should be us changing it and not anybody else.
Does that still exist if they don't have to be at school till like 10:30 for a class?
If they have to be at 10:30, they have to be at 10:30, they can't be
Okay, got it.
1 minute late, or according to what we were told.
Any other questions? Or comments? Okay, did I have a first and a second? To adjourn the meeting or do we do that? Okay.
We got off track.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Second.
I will. Meeting is adjourned.